Good afternoon, everyone. John and Gay here. I'm about to sing a song. I love singing these gospel songs. This one is from a United Church hymnal that I got at a used bookstore. And it has the music as well as the words, and I love it. And when I'm singing these, it helps me because I need to hear these messages too. So I'm going to sing this for us all. Take time to be holy, speak oft with thy Lord. Abide in him always, and feed on his word. Make friends of God's children, help those who are weak, forgetting in nothing his blessing to seek. Take time to be holy, the world rushes on. Spend much time in secret with Jesus alone. By looking to Jesus, like him thou shalt be. Thy friends in thy conduct his likeness shall see. Take time to be holy, let him be thy guide, and run not before him, whatever betide. In joy or in sorrow, still follow thy Lord, and looking to Jesus, still trust in his word. Take time to be holy, be calm in thy soul, each thought and each motive beneath his control. Thus led by his Spirit to fountains of love, thou soon shalt be fitted for service above. That song was written by W.D. Longstaff. Very beautiful song.
Thank you. Now, we've been talking about, quite easily, this terrible thing that's happening in Canada, that terrible thing that's happening, and we've so far reached the ultimate of the Liberals voted to kill the mentally ill as such a barbaric, cruel act. Now, we say, oh no, it's just choice. If you're mentally ill by definition, you're not making good choices. And I'm already familiar with what they call as choice. There was no choice when I was in Royal University and City Hospital and constantly harassed by people who wanted me killed. There were others who didn't, but let's get it straight. So when we talk about euthanasia and the extension of euthanasia, of killing the mentally ill, let's just quit pretending there's any choice in this barbarism. How did we get this way? Let's review. Let's go back to May 14, 1969. The Prime Minister was handpicked by the communist Pearson. Yes, you heard me correctly. Pierre Trudeau had gone to power by a silly mass hysteria of wanting change and wanting to be exciting, like Kennedy or somebody didn't want that old-fashioned prairie morality, of the,
Just getting your
oh,
out of the
okay,
sunlight there a bit.
yeah, morality of the Diefenbaker era. So Canadians elected Pierre Trudeau, and we've soon found out what Pierre Trudeau is up to. The first thing, May 14, 1969, he tabled Bill number 1, which is the omnibus bill. And in this omnibus bill, he legalized contraception, he legalized homosexuality, he legalized abortion, and he
Divorce?
and he legalized divorce. Canada, you can divide Canadian country history from what happened from the pre-1969 Canada to the post-1969 Canada. And who did this? Who was the landmark? Pierre Trudeau. Yes, he is the father of, or the official father, I should say, of Justin Trudeau. And they have exactly the same mentality. Their first love is death. Their second love is attacking Christianity. Their third love is attacking the family. And there was no better package than the omnibus bill. It was a perfect scenario to destroy the morality of Canadians. People didn't realize what they were doing, or very few did. The bishops and archbishops, the hierarchy of Canada, said, no, no abortion. Well, that's good. That's very good, but was silent on the other 3 points. Now, generally, if somebody passes a bill or wishes to pass a bill, and you consider that 3/4 of the bill is fine and keep quiet about it, you shouldn't be surprised that the abortion, which caused the fury, just went along. It was an omnibus bill. It was a package. And nobody objected. Very few publicly objected to 3/4 of the bill. Now, generally 75% is a pass. So people kept quiet about homosexuality, contraception, divorce, but concentrated on the evil of abortion. Now, that's very good. And it's very good that groups like Catholic Women's League immediately began to fight abortion. And they soon garnered 1 million signatures and had a table in the parliament. And people are still fighting against abortion. But in the meantime, people are silent about the 3/4 of the bill. 75%, as I say, is usually a pass. So they kept quiet about contraception, homosexuality, divorce, and but there was noise against abortion, and there still is noise since 1969 till right now, 2021. Now, this was generated by a man who, in just about every count, was in a conflict of interest. And how do we restore Canada to what it once was? First of all, we have to realize ourselves the evils of this four-prong attack on the family. And we say, well, it's a non-issue to want to stop legalization of homosexuality. It's a non-issue to try to stop contraception. Well, first of all, we have to stop our mentality. We have to renew our own minds and restore the thinking of a pro-family agenda. It's before something is politically feasible, it has to be personally spent and sent and understood. So it's not realistic to say, okay, tomorrow we're going to be against contraception. But what about you personally? Do you see the evils that John Paul VI saw in contraception, the contraception mentality? Do you see the connection between these four things? We have to understand the issue. We have to integrate the morality as expected in Parliament, or not, if not Parliament, expected in the past and in Rome. There were very few people, including clergy, who understood the evils of contraception. But Paul VI understood. And he wrote the very important encyclical Humani Vitae. And he is indeed prophetic, and he is indeed deserving of sainthood. And he's on the way to being a declared saint. So we have to restore in our own hearts and in our own minds the Christian morality, the understand why contraception is evil, why sterilization is evil, and so on. Always, before any restoration, you have to have people who embrace the views in their hearts, in their minds, and in souls. So first of all, we have to have a spiritual revival to revive Canada. We thank people who are leading the way to do just that. And there's many fine Christians in Saskatchewan and in Canada. I know more about Saskatchewan, of course. I know people who will say 4 rosaries every day. I know people who constantly pray and work, and we know people who are speaking out clearly and have spoken out clearly against the evils of the death mentality. And they will continue to do so. So in 1969, Canada had an attack on the family, and it is still ruling and rolling. Trudeau knew exactly what he was doing. And he was well aware that this 4-pronged attack on the family would change Canada forever. So we must look at 1969 May 14th and see what happened to Canada and who did it. And yes, it was Pierre Trudeau, the official father of Justin Trudeau. It is believed with considerable evidence that Justin Trudeau is the son of Fidel Castro. The Cubans believe it with good reason, and I think there's good reasons and obvious conclusions, including look at the person with his very thick Latin hair that didn't come from a French Canadian. But we're not about hair here, folks. If we have someone who has no loyalty to Canada on any counts, ideologically or any other way, we're in trouble. And indeed, this country is in trouble, but we can get back on track. That's all for now, but we'll be talking about this for a long time. And we trust that more and more people will be talking about it and working for revival.
Thank you, my dear. Let's just say a prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. We'll be back.